with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good morning on your Tuesday. Thanks for joining us here on Facebook Live. A check of some of the stories we're following on your Tuesday here at Erie News Now. Testimony is underway at this hour down in Washington, D.C. That so-called select congressional committee's hearing from some of the police officers who fought off those rioters during the deadly attacks at the Capitol back on January 6th. This is a live look at that proceeding again, now underway down in Washington. A series of D.C. Metropolitan police officers set to testify about their struggles to defend the U.S. Capitol building on that fateful day back on January 6th. One new member on that committee, Republican Adam Kinzinger, was tapped by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi over the weekend to join 7 Democrats and the other Republican, Liz Cheney, on that panel. Cheney just moments ago delivered one of 2 opening statements that was prior to some of this testimony that's now underway, again involving these Capitol police officers. 7 people died during and after those riots back on January 6th. More than 450 people across the United States still facing federal charges connected. This one will have more, of course, throughout the day here from Erie News Now. As far as the Summer Olympics go, the competition is done for the day over in Tokyo, but certainly some shocking news out of the land of the rising sun this morning. Simone Biles withdrawing from the women's gymnastics team competition. Biles actually took part in the qualifying round back on Sunday, then withdrew early today over in Tokyo after she left the area there to be treated by trainers. Came back with a heavily strapped up foot. In a statement, the folks at USA Gymnastics say Biles withdrew due to a medical issue. Still unclear, though, if she'll be able to compete later in some of the individual gymnastics events. Simone Biles was replaced on Team USA by Jordan Childs, a backup. Team USA now vying for a 3rd straight team gold medal. You can catch all that drama unfolding tonight on NBC in prime time. Also out of the Summer Games, Japanese tennis star Naomi Osaka knocked out of the Summer Olympics, beaten in the 3rd round of the singles tournament as far as the tennis competition goes over at the Summer Games. And it came days after she lit the Olympic cauldron to get it all underway. Naomi Osaka, the number 2 ranked player in the world, eliminated by Marketa Vojtova out of the Czech Republic, 6-1, 6-4. Osaka beat an opponent from China in the 1st round, another from Switzerland in round 2. The 23-year-old had just returned to the court for the Olympics after a 2-month-long mental health break. That's after she withdrew from the French Open back in May and then didn't compete at all at Wimbledon. And she does. Rising COVID case numbers connected to that extra contagious Delta variant, now leading to calls for a vaccine and mask mandates in a number of spots on this Tuesday morning. Out in California, the government there is ordering all government employees to get vaccinated or at least undergo weekly COVID-19 testing. In New York City, some 300,000 municipal workers are looking at that same sort of vaccine mandate. New York's Mayor Bill de Blasio made that announcement on Monday, targeting a mid-September date. He says that date's in focus because, among other things, school will be back in full swing. The mayor says that move's all about New York City's recovery. They're all around recovery from the pandemic, and he says there could potentially be some consequences for folks who don't comply with the vaccine mandate. The VA department, Veterans Affairs, also going to require their healthcare workers to be vaccinated. The VA now becoming the first federal agency with a vaccine mandate for its employees. Those VA workers will get, they say, 4 hours of additional paid leave after showing proof of vaccination. And as we get closer to the start of another school year, a lot of students, parents, and even teachers have to be wondering what it's all going to look like when kids make their way back to class. Erie News Now's Molly Samora reports.
For schools across the area, they're beginning to prepare for the school year, one they thought would be easier than last year. But as cases rise with the new variant, schools are once again having to be flexible. As of right now, at General McLean School District, they're following the state guidance as well as looking at the case numbers here locally to decide what the school year is going to look like. Students will be back in the classroom full-time 5 days a week. Superintendent Matt Lane tells me right now face masks are not required in the classrooms, but that could change at any time.
Do our best to just, like I said, follow the guidance. Even right now, even if we decided to make masking optional, as of today, the federal guidance on transportation requires masking on buses. Now that could change. There's a lot of things that can change in the upcoming weeks, which is why we're just continuing to monitor the situation.
Also, meet the folks in charge of the area's biggest school district, the Erie School District. They're going to continue to follow the CDC's guidance for the upcoming school year, at least for the start. The Erie School Board's approved the health and safety plan for the district. That came down on Monday. They say masks will be required for the non-vaccinated, as well as anybody riding an Erie School District bus. Classrooms, they say, will be set up for at least 3 feet of social distancing with cleaning and sanitizing measures staying in place for now. The first day of classes for all of those students in the Erie School District, that is set for August 30th. So yeah, just a little over 1 month to go until the kids make their way back to school. Meteorologist David Walter, not only keeping your eyes on our weather here at home, but you've got an eye or two over on Tokyo conditions as well.
Yeah, of course it is the middle of the night right now. So, well, not quite the middle of the night. They're at 11:08 Japanese time. And so, yeah, we are heading deeper into the night. And right now you can see some of those clouds out there. That's actually associated with that tropical system that continues to spin on by. Again, not looking very impressive, but you can see the clouds wrapping around back through the capital city. And this is the forecast over the next couple of days. You will notice that temperatures will remain quite warm. It's going to be very humid as well. So that's some extra stress for those athletes who are in those outdoor events. Of course, the surfing's been pretty good. That's been the one good feature from the weather over the last 24 hours, but that system will move on out. This is Tropical Storm Nepartuk, of course. We've been watching it for the last couple of days. Hasn't become anything too strong. All right, we're going to play ball here in Erie. Not so much on the other side of the globe, even though they will be soon. For the next couple of days, you can see that temperatures, or for the next couple of hours as we go into game time here, we're coming on down into the lower 70s, lower and middle 70s. There's a chance for maybe an isolated storm around by about 7 o'clock. Not seeing really great rain chances, very spotty stuff, but hopefully we don't get a storm that just so happens to come right over the ballpark or right over Liberty Park, because that's where we know we have a lot of folks who are outside. So it would just be something that's kind of an inconvenience, shouldn't be enough to cause any big problems for some of those outdoor plans. Temperatures right now, we are in the 70s to around 80 degrees. We're at 80 degrees in Erie, 74 into Bradford. Right now, humidity levels, yeah, they were pleasant this morning, but we're going to bump up the muggy meter to the steamy level. As you can see, that we do have those dew points into the 60s. So our atmosphere becoming a little bit unstable overall, but I think our better chance for some of those storms will be happening as we get into the afternoon. All right, futurecast or your forecast for today, I should say, we're into the lower and middle 80s during the afternoon, an isolated storm later in the day. Heat and humidity building for this afternoon. Sagertown over there towards Springboro, Titusville as well. And back in Warren County, we got those temperatures into the middle 80s for today. We'll talk more about the 7-day, and we'll actually get a look at a futurecast that's coming up in just a moment.
First, though, it's a story for all the French fry lovers out there this morning, and I'm certainly on that list. We're about to check out the world's most expensive plate of French fries. And yeah, they're pricey because it's not just the potatoes. These fries come with a thick cheese dipping sauce. They're served on a crystal plate, an orchid on the side. So yeah, these are some fancy fries, no doubt. These fries cost you $200 an order. Yeah, and apparently you can only get them at New York City's famous Serendipity restaurant. And to be clear, this is not an entree, not a main course. This is just a side dish of these very pricey cheese fries. The chef says he only uses high-quality chipperback potatoes, and they're seasoned in a truffle salt and truffle oil, all topped off, they say, with a edible gold dust. Yeah, that's what he's sprinkling on right now, believe it or not. Yeah, it's Serendipity's 10th Guinness World Record when it comes to pricey food. $200 plate of fries. Well, let's split one, David. At that price.
No, not even $100, not even $5.
No.
You know, they're just throwing on, they're just trying to do whatever it takes to
kick up the
that
price.
Yeah, I heard your voice
bring
before.
on the Five Guys. They're one of my favorite fries.
I heard your voice before as you were describing. You were like, a little.
I tried to go a little,
there.
Food Network.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is it going to be served by somebody named Jeeves?
Potentially, it might. Yeah.
All right. I'll stick to a $5 plate of fries. That's the most I'm going there. All right. Futurecast. as we continue through the afternoon hours. Notice some more clouds move on in. An isolated shower can't be totally ruled out. And you can see towards the evening hours now, Futurecast not showing us any rain. So this is why we look at weather models here, but you don't take them literal. You got to kind of know what's happening in the atmosphere. But still, I think there may be some very isolated activity out there later on in the day. So we'll obviously keep an eye on that for some of those bigger events coming up this evening. During the overnight, I think we'll have a few more of those scattered showers roll on through, and then we'll have a pretty limited activity, at least for the lakeshore tomorrow. I think a few more of those storms will be developing for inland locations really back there into the higher elevations. As we look ahead over the next couple of days, you can see that rain chances, yeah, not too impressive, but in between there, Tuesday night, tonight, we are looking at a few more of those scattered showers. Best chance coming up on Thursday. A cold front will be moving on in. We'll have to keep an eye on the possible severity of some of these storms that do develop. Could be a large complex of storms rolling on in. So we're going to keep our eye on that on Thursday. You can see the drop in temperatures. Yeah, this is a legitimate cold front, and temperatures, yeah, may have to be bumped down actually a little bit more. And you can see next Monday we're at 72 degrees, and that is, yeah, now getting us into the month of August, which of course begins on Sunday. So not what you typically expect when we get into the 8th month of the year. We normally talk about the dog days of summer, but hey, this is I don't know what we would call this, but it's definitely not the dog days. More like the hamster days. I don't know. I just picked a random animal. Yeah, the iguana days, yeah.
All right, hey, if you're heading down to 8 Great Tuesdays or the Seawolves game, make sure you've got the Erie News Now app on your phone. It'll basically take that first warning weather team right along with you and keep you up to date on any changing weather situations down there. We've got 30 minutes of news coming your way at noon on WSEE. I'm Mark Soliday from all of us here at Erie News Now. Have a great Tuesday.